here we are, just about to jump into our next match. This is it. This is the grand final for today's proceedings between the SuperNoobs and SGC, Saigon Tank Company. Excuse me, just blow my nose there. So, Saigon Tank Company, or Saigon Tanker Club, I should say. Team that I personally haven't actually had the pleasure of casting before, and to see them right up here in the grand final, well, we're definitely about to get a pretty interesting look at them. And if we take a look at their previous matches, I mean, this is going to be an interesting danger. They've obviously improved a lot throughout some of the recent Go4WoT Cups. You know, they started off in Go4WoT Cup 8, where they lost to B Gaming, lost to Swordfishers a couple of times throughout some cups. But then in last week's cup, they took out No Real Danger. They took out the Mean Maori Mean. And they were all looking pretty good overall. So definitely an improving team. But taking a look at the tank picks that we've got here. SuperNoobs, they have got on their lineup 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T54 lightweights for steps. They've also got a T32 and a T37 there as well. So about as stock standard as you can get. On the other side though, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4, only 4 T54 lightweights, an AMX 1390 and a Pershing. So both sides looking pretty formidable. Let everyone know that we're ready to go. And alrighty, yes, we'll be getting loaded in towards this one, which should be good. So first I'm seeing, yeah, it's interesting, very interesting to see how well these teams are actually improving throughout the matches as well. But right now, let's take a look at the SuperNoobs. They're going to be on the defensive side this time, and it's not often actually. excuse me, not often that we see a defensive squad line up with so many T54s, but here we are seeing that.
Time to roll out.
So right now, SuperNoobs are having Sunbow here with this T32. He's going to be probably just setting up camp here, I'd say, and just doing what he does best and chilling out around this general location. And right now, I'm going to be getting a few of those destructibles sorted out as well. So in the meantime, got a couple of those other T54s for the SuperNoobs, just kind of mulling around the place, Tang in this nice little spot here on the in the kind of C0 B0 area. Already some shots coming out, so SGC were spotted out there by, I think the last might have done the spotting there. He's going to be getting a few shots across over to them, but of course it's early days. SGC, they are all in relatively light tanks as well, so you know, not a sort of big deal for them to get spotted out like this early on. You know, as much as it would be if they all committed towards that two flag push with, say, a team of heavies. So right now though, we're going to be taking a look as the SuperNoobs, they're all set up to defend on this towards this one flag right here, but you know, they do have the information. They know that SGC wanted to push the 2 flag, but haven't been able to just yet. So right now they're just going to be setting up on defense here. I mean, there's T54 lightweights, very versatile tank, of course. You know, we're going to be seeing them do everything from pushing just to defending out with these T32s, and we can see the T37 right there actually. Not sure if that's been spotted out by the last, but it should be. Right after the last comes over the hill. Ooh, has he spotted him? I think so, yes. Getting his gun trained on towards Street Ghost in his T37 there, and Street Ghost is all on his own, so this should be a fairly simple kill here for the last, but maybe doesn't want to commit to it. Maybe knows that if he commits to it with his friend NT Lock there, the SuperNoobs, well, they'll be 2 tier 8s down in the 2 flag department. So instead, it's actually just going to be waiting it out a little bit there, which I think is actually a pretty good move. And we're seeing it right now. SGC, they've managed to get that information as well about those 2 tier 8 tanks that were pushing up. The T-37 taking a few shots, but it's exactly what the T-37 there, Street Ghost, needs to do. Just, you know, keep on relaying that information back to his team through the comms, and they're going to be using it right now to make this push in. Okay, this is going to be it. The first push here on steps between these two teams. Sunbound, this T-32 in a nice hold down position on the top of that hill there. Going to be getting a few shots across. That T-54 lightweight is the first focus. Needs to disengage pretty quickly from this fight if he doesn't want to be taken out. But there we go. Sunbow takes him out. Lewis goes down, and suddenly the fight is on Sunbow right in the middle of it, but he is being ignored by the attackers right here. SGC, they know what they want. They want the T-54 lightweights, and they are going down on both sides right there. Bowdem going down, the last going down, Super Cub going down as well. X-Kuro goes down right after that, and it's looking pretty good for the SuperNoobs right there, taking down another one. And just like that, SG have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tier 8 tanks. Pershing as well. T-37 taken out by Call Me Tenchi. There we go. SuperNoobs taking out that first map in style. And we've got to remember as well, guys, this is a best of 5 format, so for the grand final today. But I mean, if the SuperNoobs can keep that one up, then they're going to be in good stead for the rest of the matches. And let's take a look now at the team score in the battle results. See how both of these teams did. Sunbow up the top there in his T-32. You know, he was left alone, and it showed. He got some good damage out, 1.8 thousand. And on the other side, you know, SGC, that is one of the advantages of that AMX 1390. You know, in very short engagements like that, when you can just get out that entire autoloaders clip, you know, you can put out a nice amount of damage with it. So he managed to top the SGC scoreboard with 1,500 damage there, which is fairly respectable. But of course, those T-54s on the SuperNoobs lineup, just looking a little bit stronger overall. And yeah, I mean, in terms of what went wrong for SGC that time, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, a couple of less ricochets, maybe, you know, they would have been looking better. But overall on steps, it is hard to push against a fully defensive setup team like that. So. Alrighty, but we're going to be getting some tank picks again underway. Of course, in this best of 5 format, for those that don't know, it's played with both teams playing two rounds, so to speak, on each side. So right now we're going to be seeing SuperNoobs playing again on the defensive side here on steps, and then we swap it up, and the third game is swapped up so that then SuperNoobs will be in the attack. Saigon Tanker Club going to be on the defense in the third game, and the fourth game if it goes to a fourth game. And just taking a look now, if we do manage to get this one going out to a fifth game, then I think they're going to be playing on, I want to say, Himmelsdorf from memory, but in fact I will just double check that it is I might be wrong. It is Lakeville, in fact. Okay, so the tiebreaker today is on Lakeville. So there we go. And alrighty, we're all ready. There we go. Let everyone know that we're ready. And we should be jumping into this one as well. So let's go ahead, take a look as we're loading into this one. SuperNoobs, I mean, I don't think they need to change much, and that's the great thing about rolling with so many T-54s here. The SuperNoobs, you know, it doesn't actually matter what SGC try. The SuperNoobs, they're always going to be able to react to it very, very fast. You know, all but one of their tanks can travel at, you know, over 50 k's an hour without breaking a sweat. All those T-54 lightweights, a T-37 as well. So really, SGC, it's tough for them to push onto it. And you know, SGC, they've got the Pershing, they've got the AMX, they've got a very light lineup as well. But you know, unless you're going to be rolling straight out the gates on towards a 2 flag with that, then it's not really going to, you know, be of much advantage when both sides have lineups that are kind of as mobile as each other. That's, in my opinion, always going to favour the defenders, but I'll have to wait and see. So, right now, let's flick across. It's looking like Street Ghost going to be rolling out with the rest of his team here. And these guys just pushing up a little bit towards the 1 flag, maybe seeing if they can find any picks around the place as well. It's not looking like it at the moment though, as Baodam just going to be getting a few shots across on towards the general SuperNoobs location. They're not too sure if they can spot them out, but it seems like maybe they've got a few spotted out. Instead, they're just going to be kind of missing shots there. Nothing too crazy. That's a good thing with the T54s as well. Unlike the, I mean, we're not going to be seeing the AMX 1390 go for those shots because it's really not worth it for that auto loader to spend the bullets like that. In the meantime, though, SuperNoobs, they're going to be pretty confident. Nothing too crazy that's happening right now. Both sides just going for a little tit for tat. Pershing here, World of Tanks Vietnam. That's it's an easy name to say actually, and I'm not sure what I should abbreviate that to, but it's quite a long one actually. The Pershing even, just going to be setting up right here, trying to get a few shots maybe across over the hill, as we're just seeing the usual kind of games that we see here on Steps. Ricky though actually kind of poking up down the hill, and yeah, I was about to say maybe getting a little bit too far forward in that situation. He's going to pay for it with 20% of his HP and a damaged fuel tank. So that's definitely going to hurt him a little bit right there. And in the meantime as well, we're seeing some more shots coming out. Nothing really of note so far. We can see that the SuperNoobs on the mini-map there, they're spreading out now as well. So they're kind of fanning out right towards the edges and maybe even trying a push from the looks of things. Let's take a look at where these SuperNoobs are actually pushing up to. We've got, who's that? Okay, so I like this from the SuperNoobs. We've got Call Me Tenchi here pushing up. So right now he's got some eyes on the middle of the field. So if any of the SGC guys try and push out through the middle of the field, then they're going to leave themselves open to Tenchi. And if anyone on the SuperNoobs manages to get a spot in those Saigon Tanker Club tanks as they're crossing, or maybe as they're pushing up towards, even towards a 1 flag, then this is where Call Me Tenchi is going to be in a pretty good position to react. So here now as well, pushing. And going to be using this T-37 here just to get some nice scouting action happening, of course. So we get some shots fired as well. Oh, look at that. That's actually going to be that Pershing spotted out right there, and here getting some nice shots on towards it. Already dropped down to 500 HP. So Call Me Tenchi now as well. He's actually on 100%. So although it's looking like it's looking like SGC Saigon Tanker Club. They've said we don't want any more of that. No, thank you. Tenchi, we're going to stop you. So they've rotated back, of course. Tenchi in here, they know that. They've spotted them out, so they're not going to wait around like sitting ducks to be eliminated by the pushing SGC lineup. They're just going to be retreating instead. So good bit of play there. Excuse me, good bit of play there from the SN lineup on the SuperNoobs. And now we're just going to be kind of reset a little bit here. And we can actually see as Call Me Tenchi here comes through his team have actually been taking quite a few hits as well. So the trading hasn't really been going perfectly for SuperNoobs. With Ricky, he's on 39% HP, and T-Lock 79%. We've got the T-32 on 69%. So really they are kind of slightly damaged here. And we can actually see Tenchi right there. He's going to be getting himself into a bit of a firefight, winning that one, and taking down the Pershing of Saigon Tanker Club, which is a nice little win there. Oh, and it's looking like we are going to be seeing the push coming in right now. Okay, the Saigon Tankers are trying again to make this one work, but this is going to be a lot harder this time. They're already low. They're undermanned. It's not going to work out well, I don't think. Already lost 2 more Tier 8 tanks left. They only have 3 Tier 8s. For them. SuperNoobs, they've got all their firepower on the field. And look at this, their AMX 1390 just being bullied there by Call Me Tenchi. Tenchi with 3 kills. The last ends up with 1. Sunbow and Tang with 1 as well. 7 for 0. That is another decisive victory there from the SuperNoobs. And right from the get-go there, SuperNoobs, they just felt completely in control of that battle. And I mean, the scoreboard does show it. You know, so if we take a look over there, Lewis up the top couldn't even break 1,000 damage on the Saigon Tanker Club lineup. The SuperNoobs, you know, we had Call Me Tenchi right up there, 2.1k, Sunbow 1.5k. Ricky 1.3k as well, so some good damage numbers across there on the SuperNoobs lineup. And on the defense, really couldn't have played it. You can't really play it better than they did right there. Just perfect map control, pressure exerted from the defensive side, which is something we don't always see either. And they take the win in that one. So 2 games up right now, and as we're getting the next picks happening for this time, of course, the SuperNoobs, we're going to be swapping it around in this best of 5. The SuperNoobs now are on the attack. Saigon Tanker Club on the defense this time. So who knows? Maybe they like defending it a little bit more. Right now, though, we're seeing some very similar picks. I mean, there's guys. They're probably just going to be sticking with the T54s. Really, I want to see Saigon go with a T32. Obviously on the defense here, very useful tank to have. What else? So yeah, they've got a Pershing, T54s. Gone with an IS-3 this time. I like the IS-3 here. It can definitely work out. What else? So we've got 5916 there for Call Me Tenchi. And I think that is pretty much the lineup there. It's just lots of T54s from the looks of things. Yeah, okay, so that's interesting. We don't actually have a T32 picked by Saigon Tanker Club on the defensive side. So I'm not really convinced at that, to be honest. I always like to see at least one T32. I mean, RU251, that's a good one to sit in that kind of C0 spot on the defensive side. It's got a nice gun, of course. And the IS-3 can effectively do a pretty similar thing to the T32, I suppose. But anyways, we're getting the countdown happening and jumping into the battle now to try and find out whether the SuperNoobs can close this best of 5 out in a mere 3 matches, or whether the Saigon Tanker Club will fare better on the defensive side here on steps. 18 seconds left before we jump into this one. This is, of course, for those just joining, the ESL Asia Go4WoT Cup number 16 grand final between these two teams. So it is do or die for SGC right now. 3 seconds, and we're going to be seeing how the SuperNoobs approach this attack, whether they just go for the standard kind of 1-2 line attack, put some pressure on the flag, and maybe try to win those pokes, or whether they go for a 2 flag push. It's looking pretty standard at the moment from the looks of things, and we are seeing them pushing up. And really, this should actually work out very well for the SuperNoobs, because they're going to be trading with effectively the same tanks. You know, SGC, they don't have that T32, so really, I mean, yeah, they have the IS3, which is kind of similar in a lot of ways, but whereas the T32's frontal turret is pretty much going to be impossible to pen, you know, T54s, they'll get through an IS3 in some situations. Maybe not the strongest bit of the frontal turret armor, of course, but of course these guys are going to be shooting all APCR, all the premium shells, all of that fun stuff as well in this one. But overall, SuperNoobs just getting into some nice early aggressive positions right here. We're seeing NT lock making sure not to push too high up. He does actually knock down a couple of trees. Whoop, and yeah, seeing some shots coming in right after he does as well. But he's not a silly tanker. He's not going to be letting himself. Well, I'm about to say he's not going to be letting himself be seen and put in any danger. But he's looking all right there. So in the meantime. Oh, we're getting some shots actually applied right there. The Pershing. Let's take a look at that. World of Tanks of Vietnam taking a few shots. And I'm not too sure what SGC's defensive lineup is here. They've only got two. I don't like this from SGC. They've only got two up here. They've got lots more around the 2 flag. Even, well, yeah, I want to see SGC put their T-37 to use a little bit better. You know, maybe try and get a scout out down the south there. You know, and then rotate a couple of the T-54s up here to help with this sort of trading on the hills. That's what I want to see. You know, because at the moment, having 2 tanks trade against all of the SuperNoobs, it's not going to work out for them. And right now, we do have the base cap started as well. So Hien, in that 59-16, is going to be starting to apply a bit of pressure that way. And of course we are going to be needing to see that reset, and I like that it's fairly, you know, still fairly early on, about 4 minutes 20 seconds left on the scoreboard. So you know, the attackers here, SuperNoobs, they have a lot of time to make this work. Oh, early though, look at that, Super Street guys just going down there, and oh, some of these T-54 lightweights getting into some fights across on the top of this hill here, and it doesn't seem to be working out for them on the defensive side right there, as Ricky and Hien and the other T-54s and the SuperNoobs lineup absolutely pepper SGC here. So the base cap as well is actually just hit 50. We do see one shot ricocheting off Life or Die there. It's great use of that IS-3 there. Although, look at that. They can't just keep on sacrificing hit points right here, SGC, and that's exactly what they're doing. The Pershing taking damage, and SGC have said, look, you know what? Oh no, Lewis, he's on fire right now, and he doesn't have a fire extinguisher. Excuse me, but that is brutal right there as the last takes him down. And yeah, right now with only 4 tier 8 tanks left, SGC, they need to get something miraculous here. They need to stop losing tank. No, they've just lost another one. IS-3 and a Pershing. That's all that's left. The SuperNoobs putting on an absolute display here in the grand final with Tang taking down ZK. Baodem going down to, I think that was the last as well. And you know what the SuperNoobs have just said? We don't want a base kit. We're not even going to bother with that. Let's just go straight towards them. Let's finish them off the proper way. And the Pershing, the last man standing there for SGC. One more shot and he will go down. The last takes him down there. And again, well, another 7-0. 2 7-0s in a grand final. That's when you know that that you've really earned the victory there. So the SuperNoobs, they have got to be happy about that one. And you know, SGC, I think they're going to be happy that they made it to the grand final today. You know, they've been eliminated in the first round in the Go4WoT before, so making it to the grand final, definitely a bit of a personal achievement for them, I think. So there we have it. I mean, taking a look at the battle results there, the scoreboard, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just really complete control from the SN lineup right from the get-go, and that is going to earn them first place this tournament. And good to see the GGs coming out there as well. So there we are, guys. That is the ESL Asia Go4WoT Cup number 16, all finished off for today, with SN the champions, SGC coming second, and like we just saw as well, the third place winners going over to the Swordfish. So that is just about it for me from today. But again, thanks for watching. Remember, you can follow at ESLWOT on Twitter. I'm on Twitter now as well, and all of that fun stuff. Make sure you hit follow right below on the Wargaming Asia Twitch channel so to make sure you get notified whenever we're going live, because all sorts of great esports action and great tanking action happening here in the Asia Pacific region recently as well. So that's just about it for me for today. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
It's going to be incredible. Tanks are ready.
Everything is ready. Have fun. Are you ready?
Which of these are the best?
The engagement begins. Delight in a battle. Here's Shanish around the backside. Looking dangerous. 2 seconds.